I'm a dad. I'm a dad. D-A-D-D-Y. 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 I'm a dad. Dad. I'm a dad. D-A-D-D-Y. 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 I'm a dad. All right. Oh shit. Remember as I used to be.
Well,
All right.
Get to do that.
And we are back.
Welcome back.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Appreciate you tuning in episode 1. Good feedback. Love to hear it. Today we're going to cover episode 2, as you already saw, delivery from a dad. So I think we covered the first one. I've been through this 3 times.
2 times.
2 times. And very different experiences for
Oh,
both
wow.
of us.
Yes.
So,
from every aspect that there is.
Yeah, 100%. So, okay, we'll get into it then. We'll get straight to it. So, I'll start.
Yeah.
So, delivery number 1 for me, Isabella. Isabella's my oldest. She's 10 now.
Did they even practice medicine 10 years ago? It's crazy.
Yeah, it was
so long ago.
Yeah, I had a horse and carriage to the hospital.
Damn.
So, she was born in March, and at the time, towards delivery, I told you guys I was selling gym memberships. So I'm at work slinging those memberships. I get a call from her mom. At this point, she's 36 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
I got a call from her mom. Yeah, pretty much done. And her mom answers. She's kind of freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, get to the hospital right now. They're gonna take the baby." And me, knowing her mom, I'm like, she's a bit dramatic, so I don't overthink it at this point.
She literally said they're gonna take the baby?
Yeah, like it was CPS or some shit. I don't know.
No.
It was weird. I was like, okay, I mean, whatever. So I was like, all right, on my way. So not sure what exactly is going on, but I know she went to the hospital because she was having my wife's having real bad back pain.
Yeah.
So then they checked the baby. Baby's heart rate started to drop. My wife's blood pressure was elevated, a bunch of signs. And they determined that her placenta had abrupted, or the term is placenta abruption. And it's basically where the placenta detaches from the womb wall, which can be very fatal to the baby and my wife. At the time, I'm oblivious. I don't know. It's my first kid.
Yeah.
I know 36
All you know is they're
weeks.
Gonna take the baby.
Yeah, and 36 weeks is viable. Like that's almost fully developed. So, or it is pretty much. So I'm like, okay. So I'm on my way to the hospital. I get there. They got her all gowned up, ready to go. I get in the room. They put me in like the full paper scrubs. I mean, like,
oh wow.
Yeah, this is pre-COVID too, so I don't know what they put you in today. But
hazmat suit for real.
Yeah, oxygen tank.
Yeah.
So I'm in there in the room, and she's like, "Okay, you ready? There's going to be an emergency C-section. We're going to take the baby." It's like, "Okay, cool." Still oblivious, not thinking much about it. They start the C-section. They start cutting her up, and I think for me it was more of I don't know if it was a shock or I was just like numb because I didn't really see what's going on. But I'm telling you, when I tell you this, that C-section looked like a damn autopsy. I thought they were looking for fucking. It was like a game of operations. Yeah, like they were moving shit around, taking organs out. I was like, I hope she goes back together, right? So they're doing this, and we go to finally to the point where they get the baby. They go cut and they go to pull the baby out, and she comes out, big old head of hair, and I'm wearing this like face shield at the time, plastic face shield, and they hold her up. It's like, here's your baby. And allegedly, they said I started crying. I don't know. I just remember my face shield fogged up.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember my face shield fogged up or whatever. And, it's so weird when they first come out because they're like almost blue.
Yeah.
And then you watch them get color, and it's like, ooh, is that my baby's an alien, like a Smurf? Mm-hmm. So watch her get color. That was pretty sweet. And my wife's high as a kite at this point. She doesn't know what's going on. So, they give her the chest to chest. She kind of just takes it, hug, whatever. Yeah, that was it. Put her back on the warmer. Um, that's basically how it went, and everything went smooth after that. Operation was a success. We head back. And this was at St. Vincent, and that was baby number 1 delivery.
Okay, so question:
Yes.
how big was the cut for the C-section? Because I have not experienced this.
So
like because it looks like the scar is like like an appendix thing, like barely anything there.
The cut isn't very big. I'd say it's probably about 6 inches across. But I'll tell you the thing.
How do they stretch it so big to get the baby out?
That's absolutely what they do. They stretch that shit. I mean, they were yanking on it. It was like trying to rip a gym bag open. I'm like,
Jesus.
Can you feel that? And her face is just like numb. She doesn't feel anything.
She doesn't know what's going on.
But I'm watching these dudes like, you take a side, I take a side, and like some zombie apocalypse,
the
like
human body,
Walking Dead. So
okay.
it definitely kind of messed with me. I was like, ooh, that's nasty.
Oh my Lord. All right, so my first one, 6 years ago. We're going on 6 years. Call it 6. We were in Tennessee, so we had no friends. Well, we had friends, no family, because all my family's here in Indy. Mm-hmm. And she wakes up in the middle of the night and goes, "Babe, I think my water broke." And we look over, and there's like, it looks like she had just pissed the bed. Mm-hmm. So that was it. And it was like middle of the night kind of thing. We were real fortunate. The doctor that delivered our baby, our OBGYN, he does it for all of the residents in Tennessee. So he was like very experienced. He's caught like 1,000 babies or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'll handle everything. Don't worry about it. Call me day or night." So we called him, and he was like, "All right, take a bath, wait a few hours." Probably because he had to get his shit together because he just woke up.
Right.
But he was like, "Go ahead. Take your time." So we took a warm bath. I packed a bag, packed 2 bags, packed 3 bags. Didn't need the 3rd bag at all. Mm-hmm. And we went to the hospital, and we were stuck. So we got to the hospital in the morning, mm-hmm. and she did not progress.
Ooh.
And in my head, I didn't know what that meant at the time. I thought, like, does that mean the baby's stuck just right here?
Yeah.
Or like, what's going on?
Right.
Like, now I know that it means like she wasn't dilating.
Got it.
Which is how, the vagina gets bigger and the baby comes out. It's, the miracle of birth was not happening.
Right.
So she bounced on the ball. We did all these things, stuck there for like, she's going to correct me, but I said, I think it's like 8 or 9, 7 hours, something like that, all day.
Ooh.
And then she finally said, "Give me the epidural." Got the epidural. Immediately, she was dilated, and he comes out. We were lucky. She had a friend there who came and held a leg. I held the other leg. If you have not had a child, I coming from a person who made the mistake, do not watch the baby come out.
Okay.
Do not watch the baby come out.
Yeah.
Much like the I can only describe it as a horror show that you probably saw.
Yeah.
It is very much the same thing. I still, I can close my eyes right now and see the back of my baby's head just pushing through there. And I'm like, I'm never going to fit in that again.
Oh,
that was like, I was like, okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, like in the moment, I was like, this is terrifying. I would never want to do this again.
Yeah.
And no, she popped him out. It didn't take that long. Mm-hmm. And they immediately did the skin thing. They held him up for me. They're like, "Here's your baby."
Yeah.
And Nikki goes, "What is it?" And I look at it and I see the umbilical cord. And I'm like, "It's a boy." And then I realized that I'm staring. Yeah, I was like, "This boy's hung." And then I look at it and I realize I'm holding and looking at the umbilical cord. And I'm like, "Oh wait, no, that's a girl." Yeah. And then I kind of cocked him to the side, and his little penis came out. And I was like, "Never mind, it's a boy." She's like, "What is it?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Here, you just hold him. I'm done."
Yeah.
So then we clamped him, and they cut the umbilical cord, which is, they're like, "Do you want to do it?" And I'm like, "No, absolutely not." I know that she can't feel it, but in my head, I'm like, I don't want to cut my wife. Like,
it's a form of assault.
Yeah, it feels like assault. Yeah. Absolutely. And I did it with my second kid, and it was just as traumatic.
Yeah.
But that was it. The first one went really, really well.
Yeah. No, that's good. No, that's funny you brought that up. I remember you say, "Could I fit in that thing again?" I think a lot of men think that. Like, how does that go back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it did. I mean,
works.
Absolutely. God bless my wife. She worked hard.
There's a reason they have multiple kids, I guess. So,
but I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's sweet. So for me, number 2, right? Another C-section. So if you ever had a C-section for your wife or might have a C-section, it's usually C-section after that. Like, they kind of stick with that way of giving birth. So the second one with Roman, he was planned C-section.
You
Everything-
planned, yeah, right.
yeah.
You plan them for the rest
Yeah,
of the time.
everything went smooth. I mean, there wasn't any issues for him. The thing that stood out to me is a little different technique. So this is a different hospital. I was at Community on this one, and I remember, they did a cut open thing.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So to prove we are real dads, Tim brought a prop today, and I'll show you what that is in just
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
So if anybody think we're making stuff up,
They're real. They come out and they look like this sometimes,
that's a real baby.
or dark.
It's a real one.
This
So-
one, this one's a little overdone.
Yes. So Roman was planned. Everything was going smooth. We made it to the date of. We go to the hospital, like you said, we're packing all our stuff, all our blankets, this, and that. And the only thing that stood out to me on his birth, I was kind of ready at this point, but I remember they used some type of technique when they went to pull him out this time. They stuck like this plastic tube in her stomach around
Wait,
like
what?
yeah, like around like where they cut open.
Okay.
So they stuck that in there and they like extended out like a tunnel, and they pull the baby throughout. And I don't know what it does. I'm assuming not to contain like infection,
Oh, I guess
prevent
because okay.
whatever spread,
And maybe
whatever
'cause it was
baby
planned,
juices.
They could like have that stuff in the room or
Yeah.
something.
But I remember looking at him and I told the doc, I was like, "Oh shit, he's coming out of a condom," and they were like, they all started laughing because they.
Coming out the condom.
I don't know if I was
What?
a jackass or I was being funny, but I was like, "Oh, it looks like he's coming out of a condom." So that was fine. Everything went fairly smooth with him, so no issues with him, man. That was an easy one.
So recovery time the same?
Recovery time's the same. It's a brutal recovery for him. A lot more help. I think we ended up staying in the hospital both times, like almost 5 days.
5 days?
Yeah, I mean, they're learning to walk
That sounds
again,
terrible.
stuff like that. So it's a
What-
real thing.
So did he come at 40? Or like, did you plan it at 40 or did he come
Yeah,
at
I
like
think they
38?
took him like a week early or something. Like planned to take him at like 39 weeks, or he might have went 40, but they planned to take him right at that time, and he was all good. He was my second biggest baby. So
Second biggest baby.
yep.
Wait, does that mean which one was the biggest? Your third?
Oh, for sure, by a mile.
They just keep growing.
They don't stop.
So I forgot to mention mine was also early. My first one was also early. I think he was 38, not 36.
Yeah.
And then this one, which we're about to talk about, say hi. This is Luke.
Oh yeah.
He was early as well. This one, my wife will tell you, like the pregnancy was awful. She did not enjoy being pregnant at all.
Mhm.
The second time, delivery, however, was like, I don't know, like if they gave out medals for that, she probably would have gotten one, at least placed.
Yeah.
We got, you know what a doula is?
A doula.
It's basically
No.
someone you pay to help you have a baby. In my opinion, what she did was provide moral support.
Okay.
And so whenever my wife would get stressed about this, that, or the other thing that involved baby, she would be like, "It's fine. You know, this is the plan. This is what we're going to stick to, blah, blah, blah." She went to the delivery with us.
Mm-hmm.
She was very professional. At the
Yeah.
time, it felt like she was just kind of like doing what I was doing at the same time. So I rubbed her back, she rubbed her back, hit her with the massage gun,
Yeah.
told her everything was going to be okay, whatever. But the cool thing about this second delivery was because it was planned and we had a plan, first one we didn't really know what we were doing.
Right.
She was like, "I want to do a natural birth." So we didn't have any drugs.
Ooh.
Right? And
Ooh.
yeah, I know. And that's why I was like, yeah, I don't care if you get drugs. Like, I'm not going to think
Was
you're
she
less
training
of a
for an
woman.
Ironman or something?
Yeah, right. Sure, he did
Alright.
that. So she was like, "I can do hard things. It's fine."
Yeah.
Well, actually, what happened was water broke at home, just like our first one.
Mm-hmm.
And she already knew. She's like, "All right, I'm not going to rush to the hospital." This time it was also a different hospital. We're back in Indy now, so we went to Community.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about that later, obviously.
Yep.
This, that, and the other thing doesn't really matter. We went to Community about 3 hours after the water broke. They put us in a room. We sat there. Doctor came. She was like, "Well, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah." And she was like, "I am feeling a lot of pressure. Can you check me?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, there's a baby right there."
Yeah.
So we were in the hospital room probably an hour and a half before
Yeah.
the baby was born.
Wow.
And yeah, I know. And it was very businesslike on my wife's part. She was like, "Oh, it's done."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "That was great. That was easy. I would do that again if that was the only part I had to do." I was like, "Well, unfortunately, I cannot grow them. So you are
True.
going to have to," and of course he fell back asleep.
Very nice.
Yeah. just like to ruin your day.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was good. In recovery time, I forgot to talk about this. So in our Tennessee stay with my first son, we stayed 2 days. 2 days,
Okay.
yeah. With this one, we were out in 24 hours because she was damned if she was like, they were like, oh, you got to be able to walk down this hallway. She was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's the minimum amount of time that we can stay?
Yeah.
And she was like, they were like 24 hours if the doctor says it's okay. And she's like, well, I'm a doctor. I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And got herself out of there in 24 hours. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. No, if you can give the vaginal birth, it's a quick turnaround
Yeah, it is.
as opposed to the C-section. Side note, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I just found myself doing this. Tim starts holding his baby, rocking him. I'm start rocking in my chair. It's so natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've been there so many times. So, no, that's great.
He's like, this is how I would do my baby.
Yeah.
Just like this.
So number 3 for me,
Yes.
Isley, the final one, my biggest baby.
The biggest baby.
Same thing, man. She was smooth playing C-section. Only thing first, she did try to come early a couple times. So we kind of went to the hospital a little
Push
bit.
back in, like,
Yeah,
no,
we were
yet.
like, nah, not today. Don't have time off work.
Yeah.
So she did want to come early, but when she came, she definitely was the biggest baby, and she wasn't bad at all. But everything after that went smooth. She also was a community baby. So all 3 of them were successful. I can only be honest, I only cried for the first one. I was kind of ready for second.
And that's
second
still
and third.
that's still up for that's up
Debate.
for debate.
Yeah,
we have no video
allegedly.
proof. Yeah,
Allegedly. So that all went smooth. But no, I was grateful from the doctors. The doctors were great. I ended up taking pictures with them and stuff like that.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. So that was great. A couple other things though we wanted to talk about outside of the delivery, just the experience for you is what is your experience like, right? So for the wife or the mom, she's getting all the love, right?
Yeah, she's the center of attention.
They're taking care of mom, and I mean, head to toe, taking care of mom, right?
Oh yeah.
Dad, be prepared, and let me tell you why.
Oh yeah.
Right. So a couple things that we experienced, right, during the hospital that you should be prepared for.
They don't tell you about this.
They don't tell you about this stuff, right? My first one, St. Vincent, dope dad room, right? It had like a little dad den, pull out couch. Oh man,
sick.
Pull out couch, probably like 6 feet.
Full on bed.
Full on bed, TV. I could order pay-per-view. I mean, it was laid out. They fed me like
what?
They fed me
hospital food.
Hospital food.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But they fed me blankets. Bring blankets.
Yes.
You're going to get a hospital sheet and you're going to hate it. Did you get the hospital sheet?
Yeah, and it was freezing in that room.
Ooh.
They gave her like 6 blankets.
Yeah.
And you always feel bad. You're like, can I get one of them?
Yeah.
For me. And they're like, why? You didn't give birth.
Yeah.
Look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, bring your own blankets. Definitely. I would say like 3 or 4 of them mugs. Just spread them around the room.
Yeah. Pillow, because those hospital pillows are paper.
If you get one.
If you get one.
My wife had all the pillows.
Yeah.
I did not. We brought our own.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Food. Bring your own food, snacks. Because a lot of times, like when it's like in between like the delivery part, like when you get in the room before the baby comes, you're just kind of stuck there. And then like if you're not fortunate enough to have like a quick one like I did, or like a planned one like he did, there could be hours where you're just sitting there, not doing anything with no food, and she will get hungry and they'll tell her she's not allowed to eat.
Yep.
So you bring your own food.
Yep. And you can, I guess today's age, you can DoorDash, but it gets expensive. So if you can plan ahead, I'd say pack a lunchbox. I mean, a lot of the rooms have fridges, microwaves. I'd say come prepared.
Can you imagine the surge cost of DoorDashing to a hospital?
If they had to go up the stairs too. Oh yeah, for sure.
$1 stair.
Another thing, so not very manly, but depending on what hospital you are, you might want to get you some of those blinders at night, maybe some headphones.
Yeah.
Because it ain't the baby you got to worry about crying. Those nurses are in and out of the room.
And they give no fucks.
No, at all.
No.
Every couple hours.
No.
Light on, checking vitals, whatever. Because obviously about mom again.
Yeah.
But just going to mess your sleep up.
Yeah. They do not care about you.
No. So
just be prepared.
Be prepared for that. So I don't know, maybe a sleeping bag. My second hospital stay, it was the couch was terrible. It was like
community hospitals. God bless them. They can churn a baby out and
great doctors,
but their rooms are
horrible
terrible.
housekeeping.
Terrible.
Like, the couch was like 3.5 feet. Like it was too big for one person, too small to fit 2 people.
Yeah, I'm not a big guy.
Yeah.
I am a very small person, and that couch was super uncomfortable.
Horrible.
Even pulling it out was just not. It was still too small. It was weird, right?
Yeah.
Why is a pull-out couch smaller than a normal person?
I was like trying to like put pillows on the ground. It was just bad. So if you got a sleeping bag, at some point I thought about bringing an air mattress, but the room was so tiny too that I don't even know if I could have blew up one in there.
No, probably not. Nurse would have stepped on it.
Yeah. So that's the comfortability aspect from the dad.
Yeah.
But we talked about this too. How about the nursery? Taking advantage of that.
Okay, so we did not take advantage of the nursery.
Okay.
With our first one, he did not feed. So like the first thing that they're going to do after you do skin to skin is they're going to try to get the baby to feed on the boob. Mine was young, early babies have a hard time usually. That's what they say. So he did not, and they were like, all right, we got to get this baby some food. He's going to stay in this room. You're going to feed him every 2 hours or something like that until it works, or we're going to have to, and that's a whole other thing that we can talk about after. You're going to have to start doing more drastic measures to get the baby some nutrients. Both of these babies had problems feeding. So we kept them in our room. And I will tell you from that aspect, I wish to God that we had used the nursery.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they don't sleep for nothing because they're hungry all the time. The nurses come in and the mom is up because she's, still recovering and stuff like that. It's just chaos. Like take one thing away and you have some semblance of peace. But with everything going on, it was, I don't think I slept for like 48 hours or something like that. Like the whole day that we were there and then delivery and then getting home was exhausting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the nursery for me, kind of same thing, especially your first child. You're like, I don't want to be away from my baby. You're so excited. But I mean, you got that thing for the rest of your life.
Facts.
So take advantage. The first one, we kind of were hesitant. But I mean, by halfway through the night, we were like, boom, he's gone. She's gone. Sorry, Bella. Send her. By that baby 2 and 3, they were like, do you want the? Yep. Absolutely. So
you bring him back when we need him.
Yeah, they bring them back to feed and whatnot. Take them right back out. Get the rest you can. You need it.
You will need it.
Wife, mom needs it. Get it while you can. So it's a good thing to take advantage of. But if you think you're missing time with your baby, you are not.
No, I mean, especially if it's your first one, you don't really know what you're doing. You could read books, you could watch videos. You don't know, but those nurses know. Yeah. Like that's their job. That's all they do. Yep. So like they're gonna take good care of your kid. You can get some rest because you're gonna need it. Like just take.
They're not gonna switch babies at the hospital like some Lifetime movie.
Yeah, that shit does not happen.
That doesn't happen.
He's got a freaking, they got little tags on him.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, my baby looked real weird when he came out. I think I could have picked him out of a lineup. Like, so I mean, like I saw the other babies and I was like, that's not my baby.
Yeah,
that's my baby.
Yep.
Like the one that looked like he came out like 6 shades darker than my skin, and I'm already darker than my wife. I was like, what is going on? Is tannin slime in there?
That's true. No, you're a child for sure. That's good. So another thing, I think one of the biggest ones for me, and maybe for you too, visitors at the hospital.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with that in the first baby, right? Because we were in Tennessee. I didn't have any family. She didn't have any family. We had like 2 people come visit us. One was her best friend down there, and then another one was like a coworker.
Yeah.
So I did not have that experience. The second one though, we did experiment with like a couple of things. Obviously, we had somebody watching my other son, and he came and visited. So the person who was watching him came and visited. The parents, my sister. And by the end of it, I was like, no, you guys could have waited until we got home. Like I love you all. I love them all to death.
Yeah.
But there's already just so much going on. And that room is not big. And everybody's terrified about the baby getting sick and stuff like that, especially after COVID. Everybody's like, oh, what do you got on you? SARS or something?
Yeah.
So they try to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Keep the visits short. And just don't be afraid to say no. I don't think you need to see the baby right now.
Not today.
Yeah.
Again, baby's going to be here the rest of life. If they thought they got to see it day one, sorry. I mean, you might hurt a couple feelings.
They should have had the baby then.
Yeah.
Like
for your sanity, do yourself a favor. We have the same thing. First one, everybody shows up, bringing a bunch of stuff that you eventually have to drive home with.
Yeah.
With the baby and everything.
Could have dropped it off at home. You can't even use it while you're there.
Can't use it while you're there, but they drop it off anyway.
Here's 6 boxes of size 1 diapers that your baby's not going to need. Like, thank you.
Yeah, and take the rest while you can. So there might be coming in the only time you can get a nap, and don't be afraid to tell them, hey, not today. They'll get over it. I mean, it is what it is.
Or they won't. It's up to them. It's
Yeah.
not, I mean,
It is what it is.
it's
But
not a serious offense.
you
to
are
say
the
no.
parents.
Yeah.
You're in charge at the
Yep.
end of the day. You are in charge. So I'll say this quick story. I remember specifically when I was like, yeah, I don't want to mess at this hospital. So
I don't want anybody to know how we living right now.
I was the first one. So my first child, when I told you I was back at the gym slinging memberships.
Yeah.
So my manager comes up after the baby's born, you know. He walks in the room and he's all smiles, a real goofy dude, all smiles, like, "Oh, congratulations!" Everything going. He's got a big old bag of Popeye's chicken. I'm like, "Is that for me or the baby? Like, what's going on?" So he brought us dinner or whatever. I'm like, "All right, cool." So he's like, "Oh, so
Paid the
cute."
ransom to get in.
Yeah, so cute, baby. I'm like, "Yeah, appreciate it." He goes, "Oh, that's awesome." And he kind of like nudges up to me, goes, "So when do you think you'll be back to work?"
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to talk about.
I was like, "Do we just have an influx of people all of a sudden wanting to work
Yeah.
out? Like,
Oh,
what the fuck you
I'm
need
sorry,
me
did
for?"
your sales drop in the one day that I was
Yeah,
gone?
because I was
or
playing
whatever?
Tetris the whole day anyway. So what you know what I mean? So
I was playing Tetris
yeah,
the
I
whole day.
wouldn't really do nothing on the computer. So when he said, I was like, "Let me see how the baby goes, and then you know,
Yeah, I'll get
let's
back
get
to you."
home first."
Yeah.
He was, "Oh yeah, no rush. Just let me know." But I was like, "What the hell is going on?" That was one of those where I was like, "You know what? I don't need that many people
You don't
in this
need that,
hospital."
yeah.
So for me, don't be afraid to say no. So
No, I agree totally.
yeah.
If we do it again, probably just going to be me and her
Mm-hmm.
and the kid, and then everybody else can meet us at home.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you had to eat all that chicken in the hospital.
All of it by myself. Well, no, Regan actually was able to eat at that point. So
Oh, that's good.
she got it in. Not
That's
gonna
good.
lie, she
That's
told it up.
Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and so like while we're on the talk about like saying no, right? You
Mhm.
might not feel like it's your job to say no because your wife's the one who had the baby. She's kind of making the calls right now. It is your job because she's got a lot of crap going on.
Mm-hmm.
So your job is to make it easier,
Yeah.
right? Like so you can absolutely be like no,
Yeah.
and then if she has an opinion, she'll tell you.
Yeah.
And that's a discussion that you guys can have, but
Yeah.
it is never going to be a discussion if you don't say how you feel.
And
right?
to that point too, like you're saying, there's a lot going on. You know, she's having a baby. There's all kind of hormones.
Mhm.
So the last thing they want to do is hurt somebody's feelings, right?
Right.
So, you know, they're feeling guilty. They feel like this, and that. Nah, that's to put the foot down as the man and be like, yeah, daddy said no.
Yep.
So
Let it be your first daddy exercise, right? Saying no.
boom, you can
Because
get a lot of that.
God knows you're going to get to say a
A lot
lot.
of
What
that.
would you have done differently between the three? Like anything to make it
Yeah.
easier or
Mhm.
quicker?
Yep. So the things that I did differently or probably would do in the future is food preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
I think I ate like Red Robin like 6 times, and now I can't go back there.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. Being prepared for my sleep. It's not going to be much, but be as comfortable as you can.
Yes.
And just telling people no. Again, like I kind of corrected towards the end where it was a lot less, but yeah, man, just kind of making the focus about you
being a dad,
mom, and
it's your time. It's your time.
mom, dad, kid. That's the focus. Everything else
agree.
falls in line. So yeah, how about you?
I think agree with all of those points.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, the thing that I would have done that I did differently for this one that I didn't for the first one was when we knew it was close, because you can't predict, right? Like unless it's a planned birth, you can't predict when the baby's coming. You just take like the week or two before, like I would say at like 36, 37, prioritize sleep more than anything. Literally anything. Like I would skip like a late dinner over a sleep over that, just because I can get food at the hospital. You are not going to get sleep at the hospital.
True that.
So like I could go there hungry, go down the cafeteria and choke down a salad or something, or some nasty ass chicken sandwich that they're selling and survive. But the sleep is not something that you can get while you're there. So I would try to sleep as much as possible. I would say at about 36 weeks if you're normal, like if your pregnancy is normal without any complications. And then definitely rethink how much you're bringing. I mean, like even if you're there for like, let's say 5 days, you probably are bringing something that you don't need. At least one thing.
Very true.
I think mine was like, we had like so many newborn clothes.
Yeah.
So many. Like, what are we going to change them like every hour?
Yeah.
No, didn't need all that.
Oh, goodness. No, that's
all that stuff can just make your life a lot easier if you just prepare for it.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Right on. Yeah, that was Delivery from a Dad. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment, like, share if you like. Questions, anything you want us to cover?
Comments, concerns, anything.
We're here to hear it
We
all.
love the feedback.
Love it. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Later.